I'm going to do a deep dive on this company that pays you $350 per lead. No, not per sale, per lead. And I'm going to show you, explain to you the special kind of site that you need to build to get paid by them. Let's get into it. So, what's the name of this company? The name of this company is Inquirly. Inquirly.com. They have a number of lead options. Actually, I said $350 per lead. That's about the average. They pay as high as $900 per lead. In that case, it's per call, but it's still a lead, a prospect, a qualified prospect. So for you to understand the difference, this is not a sale. Somebody has filled out a form, and this person is being checked, and this person is somebody who is seen as a true prospect for a service provider in a space. This person is a qualified prospect who is seeking their service. That's the lead. Now, for the higher payouts, it is usually call, because those people will call, and using some technology, the people will route them to the right service provider. They are usually hot. This person needs this service, and then they place a call because they've seen a number somewhere online. They place a call. I have this problem and I need it solved right away. Can I get the letter? Somebody, they ask him a few questions and see he's the qualified lead, and then connect him or her to the service provider. So that one pays as high as $900. I know you might be surprised, but as we get into the video in details, you'll see more about it and see how it works and how you can make it work in your case. Now, the interesting thing is that you can do what I'm going to teach you from anywhere you are in the world. If you're in Nigeria, it's good to go. And you're selling this, you are making this money from the US. You're making it primarily from the US. But you can be anywhere in the world and take advantage of it. The company Inquirly does a number of leads program. They have a number of one, but the one I'm going to focus on is water damage. Water damage. They have an affiliate program, that's Inquirly, and they pay very high figures. Like I mentioned, $300 per lead in the affiliate program. You can sign up if you are qualified for the affiliate program. And then if you are getting $300 per month per lead, and you know how to set up a system that sends them the kind of leads they want, all you need is 30 per month, an average, and you're making $10,500. Many people come online and mention amounts. You can make this amount, some things they don't have an idea of. Thankfully, I've done cost per lead marketing. I've earned per lead. I've been paid by pay per lead companies. I have earned $538 per lead in a niche known as mesothelioma. And I know how this thing works, so I can explain things to you. So let me tell you, why does this work? What do you think happens to a house if it floods? If it's flooded, something happens. Maybe there was torrential rainfall and something broke, and there was hurricane or whatever, and there was serious, the house became flooded. Now imagine that the house we're talking about is a $1 million home. They're having problem, and they have expensive properties inside that home. And every hour that goes by, things are going to be damaged more. Think about it if you know how a home is. I'm showing you why it works. And this person has a $1 million home. And for most people in the US, their single biggest investment is their home. So imagine that person has a $1 million home and seeing that this water is damaging things. What do you think that person will do? The person will be looking for what? Solutions. Now let's say the person comes online, goes on Google, water damage restoration. Water damage. I have water damage problem. I live in Tampa, Florida. He searches. What is that person looking for? He's looking for what companies that handle water damage issues, and he wants it fixed. He wants the water to stop. So what does that person do? He places the call once he gets the number, and when the person is calling, do you think this person wants to do this thing tomorrow? Wants it to delay? This person needs, if the company can enter the truck and start coming right away and stop this mess right away, they are happy. So there is a pain. This person, there's a problem they're already facing. And if they don't deal with it right away, it's going to get worse and damage more things and cost them a lot of money, much more down the line. So this person says, can you come right away? They want you to come right away. And now, there are people who provide these services, charge top dollar. They charge up to $10,000 a month, depending what it is. But their charges go from $3,000. Now, ask yourself a question. If you can get a company a deal that they will charge $10,000, do you think they will have problem paying you $500? So I'm showing you why it works. The next question you may want to ask is do we have a large enough audience? Is this something I can break into? Is this can I make enough money here? Let me just show you. If you have owned a house before, you know that water damage is one of the worst kind of damages. Because one, if you have pipes laid inside and a pipe bursts, like we came back from church one Sunday and discovered in our bedroom water was just leaking through. As we kept looking for leaking pipe, we searched everywhere. We couldn't find any leaking pipe. We started making calls. And it's a Sunday. The plumber himself wants to relax in Nigeria. So think about it. Money to pay him was not the issue. I want this water to stop. So while we were waiting for him, everybody was with mop. What will you do? You have to begin to change the position of things so that things will not be damaged. So something as a burst pipe inside, because when the man eventually came, it was just inside the wall. A pipe was leaking inside the wall, and we didn't know it had accumulated water over a period because the walls had these tiles. So it was when it got to a critical point, it started leaking, and it found its way under our closet. So thank God that our closet was high quality. It would have ruined things, but we had to quickly deal with it and start thinking about how to take care of the humidity. But we had to improvise all through 24 from that Sunday afternoon to the next day. So now, something as little as a pipe leaking inside the block is going to cause problems. And then they will need somebody to quickly come and find it. And they charge good money. When there is snow melt, it can cause water damage. During winter, pipes can burst. It will cause water damage. There are a lot of things that cause water damage. And don't use our Nigerian district. Nigeria has very few problems. All the problems we have that cause water damage, the people in US still have it. And they now have their own extra. So water damage is a real problem. And before we get to the end of the video, you see that they also have related problems. Because after water damage, some other problems emerge from water damage. So we will get into that later on. So I'm telling you why people are ready to pay this kind of money. When you have water damage like this, and you are a wealthy person or you're a comfortable person, what you need is quick solution. But then add to the fact that in most of these areas, these people have insurance that includes water damage. They have insurance. So whatever they spend, their insurance company will reimburse them. So for such people, price is not the big problem. It is urgent solution that is their target. So they are not a price sensitive audience. This is another reason why this thing works. So the last thing is, will it work for me from Nigeria or from any part of the world if I'm not in the US? Yes, it will work for you. You can make this money per lead, provided you can send them the companies that provide these services who do this water damage, who are in the water damage business. If you can provide them the right kind of leads, if you can provide them water damage leads, you are good to go. And before the end of the video, you see how you can do it from wherever you are. So how can you build out, set up a platform, a digital asset that can get you people, water damage leads, people who have water damage problems in their house and want to fix it fast? There are many ways you can go about it, but I want to give you a way that you can do from any part of the world. You don't need to be in the US. There are some ways you could have, I could have taught you that is for people who are in the US or people who are in the area. So I'm going to give you something that will work for everybody, wherever you are, including Nigeria. So the method is this: build a directory site. The reason why you build a directory site is that you are not pretending to be the service provider. You are just helping them find the best service providers in their area. Your directory has to be US focused. If you want to sell leads to Inquirly.com, make your directory US focused. You're going to make sure your directory has high value content. And what do I mean by high value content? High value content is content that addresses the search intent of the searcher. So if somebody is looking for water damage repairs, high value content will be showing them who will make the repairs. Depending on how they make the search, it could also be how to handle water damage repairs. So you need to provide such high value content. So if I'm creating a directory, I can create in such a way that I'll show them the specialists and also link them to, if you want to solve, if you do it yourself and you have enough base knowledge, look at what to look for and what to do. There's a way to build it all together. But there are things you must focus on if you want to build high value content. That is, the entire directory is going to be high value content for water damage prospects. One of the things is that you're going to create location specific pages. Let's say you cannot expect a service provider, somebody who provides water damage services, repair services, or restoration services, to come from California all the way to Alaska to take care of a problem. The service provider has to be within what? Reasonable distance. Therefore, you are going to set up your directory in such a way that it caters for people where they are. For example, if somebody is in Tampa, Florida, and say somebody searches water damage restoration specialist near me. If the person is in Tampa, Florida, Google will send the person results of water restoration specialists within the area of Tampa, Florida. Now, so you can start with cities. And you need to study and find out how big the cities are, so that you start with the cities and break it down even smaller, even into smaller counties, smaller regions. You look for it into towns. From cities, you can go into even smaller towns, provided they meet certain criteria of volume. And then that way you can get, let's say, you can get water damage prospects from a given town, and then connect them through Inquirly's platform to water damage restoration specialists in their locality, either in their town or a neighboring town. This means that these people will get their solutions faster, making the lead you provide to Inquirly a higher lead. The person who provides the service gets the call, he can drive there and get there in 30 minutes. He's making his money as he has done the job and is through within 3 hours. That's a high quality lead. So you're going to make sure you create location specific pages, towns, cities, and like that. The directory is going to include, as you create location specific pages, you're going to include in these pages the following things to make it high value. Local statistics like the flood risk, the percentage of burst pipes, things that lead to water damage, the statistics you can get from the local government, the local controlling body, whatever. Get the data and include it on the website. Things you need to include on the page includes things like what to do within 24 hours of flooding. If you come back from home and discover your home is flooded, what to do within 24 hours. You give them helpful content that has to do with mitigating the risk or stopping the problem before the expert comes, handling the problem before the expert comes, things like that. If you do your research well, you'll see more things in that direction. You want to benefit the people who came to your directory. You want people to have value. So it's not just that they're coming a place where you come and make calls and find people to make calls to. Yes, they will find that. But while they are waiting, people might be anxious. They have called finally. Okay, we've got somebody to call. What are we doing? While we are waiting, they can be seeing things they can do in the interim to maybe safeguard their properties, prevent extreme damage or further damage. Each of those pages should include things like reviews, if you could get them, testimonials of service providers you are promoting or service resource people have got. You should also include frequently asked questions. If you have the resources, you can create things that are like symptom checkers. That can also, you can create tools that can help, or you can create content that will help homeowners detect water damage before it goes very far. Yes, because sometimes a house might be having water damage issues, and the owners are so busy they have not even noticed it. The only time they notice it is when it breaks and gets to a point. Like in the case of that our house then, when we said the water was leaking through, it had accumulated in the wall. And if we had been taught, we would have noticed the pattern. Because after that, we could now see the pattern. So if I come to a house and see certain things on the wall, I'll say, hey, is there a pipe around here? Something is going on. If you don't fix it, it's going to lead to this. So if you do your research correctly, you can give them this kind of information on the page. The other things you're going to also do, you should make sure you have a zip code search on your directory. So people should be able to run a search of your directory via zip code. These are technical things. You should also have what we call schema markup, the right one. So if you do it correctly, it will tell Google that you are not pretending to be a service provider. You are not a water damage restoration service provider. You are rather a directory that shows or links people to verified water damage restoration experts. So the schema markup is something you will do at the back end of your stuff. It tells Google and other search engines what your site is truly about, so it will not miscategorize you. You should have something also like a find help now form or link. It could be if you can have a phone number, you can work it out that connects people to an AI agent, where from there you can link them directly to a service provider. You can do that if you have the resources and know how to do it. You can set things up so that if you already have partners that you can call straight and begin to get urgent help. And there are services like Just Answer. You can check if they have categories for water damage, so that when people are in this kind of situation, they need people they can talk to. So if you can provide that for them on your directory, that also will help. When you have set up your directory and you have done a good job, you started with about 10 to 15 cities, you need to expand. Do a good job and try to cover every city in the United States and begin to cover most of the major towns. Yes, if you can do it, and it will cost you a lot of money, but you don't start overnight. You can start with 15. As you grow, you build out. As you make money, you build out. In fact, you can get to a point where you have completed all the major cities and all the major towns. And you shouldn't even wait until you have completed them. While you are building out the major cities and major towns, for topical authority, you can begin to add related services or things that are connected to water damage. That once somebody has a water damage issue, he will likely need one or more of these other ones. And I'm going to list some of them. You can have things like mold removal. If you've had serious water damage issues in the place, and you have the likelihood of mold forming in that place is high. There are services where people begin to do restoration for documents, clean up. You have some, depending on where the house is, you may even have issues of biohazard cleanup. You can even have issues of fire damage. If people have conduit wiring in a house and there's a certain kind of water damage, it can compromise the wiring. So, and if care is not taken and it's not done well, there could be the danger of fire. So do your extensive research, and you will, even on Inquirly's site, if you click the services, you will see a lot of services that are related to water damage. Do your research and you see a number of them. I just gave you mold and some of these as examples. And all you need to do is to now build pages or create categories rather. Create categories that talk about this thing. And as your directory grows, you can even expand on these ones and also repeat the same process. Mold removal, Tampa, Florida. You can go that far. So this thing can start small and begin to make you $10,000 per month with just less than 5,000 visitors per month. And it has the potential of growing to $100,000 per month and more. It's just how far do you want to take it? Like I showed you from the scaling, that there are still other things you can do to become a topical authority. And all these states, you can multiply it by 50 states and the number of cities and towns in each of the states in the United States. And you see, you can create a massive directory. Lest I forget, as you are adding these other things and you're building out your directory, you will see other opportunities in areas like insurance adjusters, quotes, homeowners coverage, a lot of things. The more you dig into it and begin to go into this niche deeper, you begin to see more affiliate opportunities. You can even see partnership opportunities. In fact, not that you will see. You get to a point where people will begin to reach out to you to ask you, can we do this together? Can you promote my company? Can we advertise on your site? A lot of opportunities will come up. Before we end this, I will need to point you to certain pitfalls you need to avoid. You need to be aware of them. They are common pitfalls, mistakes people make when they want to operate in niches like this, where the pay per lead amount is high. Don't fake yourself to be a US entity and then fake yourself to be a restoration service provider in the US, especially. If you want a directory to be a US entity, okay, register a business in the US. You can do that. But it's not necessary. I've made a lot of money with websites that have no connection to the US, but serve the US audience. I don't know how many times if somebody has water damage in his house and you are running a directory, I don't think he will come and be going to look at your registration at the bottom. If Where you may begin to look at those things is at the service provider's website. When you link them to that place, you want to verify. And especially if you have done a good job of providing them with high value content, high value videos, and all those kind of things, those things will not matter. So you don't need to lie. That's the point I'm making. If lying online is not worth it, because it only takes one slip, and the web of lies will begin to be disentangled. So just tell the truth. If you want to be a US entity, register a US company. That's what you do. Avoid low quality content. The days have changed when you can just drop poor quality content and put a link and be making money. No. Remember what I told you, search our intent, deliver utmost value. And as you do that, also make sure you're a topical authority. So talking about water damage, look at all the things that are connected. Water damage, biohazard, this fire hazard, fire damage, all do your research, restoration, book restoration. Because if there's a kind of water damage that happen that affect the books, all those kind of things, do them. Make sure. So you become a topical authority when it comes to water damage. Because if somebody has water damage and your directory is where they can get all the solution, not just for removing and stopping the water damage, but to deal with everything that the water damage has caused. You will be a better resource to somebody who has a water damage problem than somebody who just connects people to service providers who will stop the water damage problem. The other thing you do is make sure you track your lead and make sure you send quality leads. If you have done these things I've talked about well and qualify your links correctly. If a link is so you say, are you a homeowner? Click this link. You already made excluded renters so that you'll be sending people the right leads. If you send a renter as a lead where you're supposed to send a homeowner, it will affect it. So little things like that. Say, are you a homeowner? You want to deal with this? Click this link. Are you a renter and you have this? Click this link. And then when you are doing that, so you do your best to set things in place that will reduce the likelihood of abuse. But if you have done these things I've talked about very well, created high value content and done everything, set everything up very well, a site like Inquirly already has mechanisms in place to route people aright. So they should have a filtering process in their mechanism if you pick the right partners. You can see that making money online, there are a lot of options there, and it's something you can achieve. But you see, unless you understand the nuances of all the things I've talked about and how to do them correctly, you will just see, wow, this thing he's talking about is a good thing. Okay, go and start a directory. Remember to do the schema markup for each of the pages. Remember to do that. Say, which one is schema? How do I do the research? How do I filter the lead? How do I cure the leads? How do I do this? How do I make sure I'm not ripped off? How do I connect this? How do I do that? All the process. That's why you need somebody who knows the process to take you by the hand and lead you step by step and tell you, okay, this is where you start. This is what you do for the next 1 week. When you finish that, you come back and say, now this is the next thing you do. So all you are doing is like you're like following a map, but you have somebody who has gone through that route, gone to the place and returned. You can now take you say, look at the map, look at where you are, but let's go. Do this now. That raises your chances of success manifold. So we have a mentorship program that takes you by the hand and leads you day by day through the process. We even make sure you choose the right niche. As wonderful as this niche is that we've talked about, it might not be the right niche for you. We will help you pick a niche that aligns with your interests, your lifestyle, your vision, your core values, your marketable skills and everything. We help you pick the right niche. And after picking the right niche, we now walk you through the process, train you how to create value content, how to know what the search intent is, all the processes. It will take you 24 months. Yes. Those who go to university and spend 7 years and more to become resident doctors, how much do they pay them in Nigeria? Do they make $10,000 per month? So if I'm going to teach you how to make $10,000 per month, you think giving it 2 years is too long. No, no, we are not teaching. We are not teaching get rich quick stuff. We are teaching you solid business skills you will have. You will know you have the skills when you are done. So if you want to be part of our mentorship program, click the link in the pinned comment or description. The title is 10K dollars in 24. Click that link. It will take you to a sign up page. When you get to that sign up page, you'll be asked to provide your name, phone number, and email address. Provide those and submit. When you submit, you get an email within 5 minutes. It will happen automatically. Open that email. It's asking you to confirm your email. Please open that email and click the confirmation link. If you don't click that confirmation link, you will not be confirmed, and our conversation with you will stop at that point. But go ahead and click the link to confirm. Once you confirm, you'll get another email within 5 minutes that will give you a link, give you two links. One link to our application form, an application form. The second link to our overview document. The second link is at the bottom after my salutation. I say to our success after the ending of my email, the PS section. Click that link, it will send you to the overview document. This gives you a snapshot of what you will get in our mentorship program. The link before that one in the main body of the email will direct you to the application form. Go to the application form and answer the questions. Fill it out. When you fill out that form, it will help you. It will help us determine if you are the right profile for our affiliate for our mentorship program. Because as wonderful as our program is, it will not work for everybody. There are people who don't have the aptitude, who don't have the inclination, who don't have the discipline, who are not just the right type. In fact, let me tell you up front, if you're not the Bukuru type, this thing will not likely work for you. But we have an option for those who are not Bukuru, who are not able to go through our mentorship program. So fill out the application form. Our system will determine if you're the right fit. Once it determines you're the right fit, you will get another email automatically, which will give you a link to a place where you book a call. Book that call. It will give you different options, convenient options. So book the call. Once you book the call at the time that is convenient for you, you will get another email giving you my phone number. The reason for giving you that phone number is for you to save my number so that when I call you at that time you picked, you will know it's me and not think it's a random stranger. Then when I call you, you can ask all the questions you have about our mentorship program. I might ask you a few questions. And when we're through, we will now give you our payment details. How much for the mentorship program, the payment options, and where you can pay. When you pay, you can then join our mentorship program and start your journey to $10,000 per month. If you're in Nigeria, $10,000 per month as at today is over 16 million naira. Pause and think about the transformation that can happen, that will happen in your family if you are making 16 million naira every month. And it can become your reality within just 2 years. 2 years is not long. Think about it. So what about those who maybe you don't have the time to go through a mentorship program, or you don't have you know you're not a Bukuru person, or for whatever other reason, but you are interested in making this kind of life-changing money? Well, if you are willing to pay for people to build it out for you, you are good to go. You don't need to be a construction expert to build a house. You pay people to do it for you. So also, you don't need to be an internet expert or know any of the moving parts for you to build passive income digital assets. So we have a done for you package. Click the second link in the pinned comment and description below. The title is DFY-Passive Income Digital Assets, PIDA. Click that link. It will take you through a similar process as the mentorship. We also have an overview document for this that you will get once you confirm. Please read through that overview document because it gives you details of what we are doing in the done for you. You understand what's in it for us, why we are doing it, how we set everything up, the payment options, the payment details, the payment plans, the various packages. We want you to enter into this thing with full details so that you make an informed decision. We encourage you to give it to your lawyer or your CPA, that is your accountant. Please give it to these people or anybody who you normally give documents to when you want to make serious investment, because this is serious. It will take us about 24 months to build it out. So you will not start getting the money overnight. You have a wait period of 24 months, and then we'll start paying you the amount you picked from the 25th month. You can pick $200 per month as your target. You can pick $20,000 per month. You can arrange for more, but it's up to you, depending on how deep your pockets are and how much you have to invest. So the ball is entirely in your court. You can join our mentorship or you can join the Done For You. Thanks for watching this video. God bless you and have a great life.